Washington, D.C. is more than just a city of history, power, and monuments. A city built on secrets and sacrifice. The air itself feels heavy, as if burdened by unseen forces. As the sun sets, shadows stretch across the National Mall. Whispers of forgotten tragedies seem to dance on the wind. The city's history is etched in stone and blood. This is more than just the seat of American power. It is a breeding ground for restless spirits. Those who walk these streets at night can feel it. A cold spot on a summer evening, a glimpse of a figure vanishing around a corner, or are they glimpses into a darker reality? Step closer if you dare. Why are there not more people talking about the mysteries of the White House? No building in America holds more power than the White House. It is a symbol of democracy, a beacon of hope. And yet, behind its gleaming facade lies a history steeped in both triumph and tragedy. Presidents have celebrated victories within its walls. They have grappled with world-altering decisions. But they have also experienced unimaginable loss and despair. It is this potent mix of emotions, this tapestry of human experience that seems to have seeped into the very fabric of the building. The White House has seen it all: births and deaths, weddings and funerals, wars declared and peace treaties signed. It's no wonder that the spirits of the past find it hard to leave. From the earliest days of the Republic, whispers of strange occurrences have circulated. Servants whispered of cold spots and disembodied footsteps. First ladies reported seeing shadowy figures lurking in the corridors. Were these simply the products of overactive imaginations? Or were they glimpses into a hidden world? A world where the spirits of former presidents and their families still walk the halls of power. Perhaps the most famous of all White House ghosts is Abraham Lincoln. The 16th president, revered for his leadership during the Civil War, met his tragic end just blocks from the White House. His assassination sent shockwaves through the nation. It seems his spirit, too, struggled to find peace. Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands famously fainted dead away when she encountered Lincoln's ghost. Dressed in a frock coat and top hat, standing at the foot of her bed, she later claimed to have heard footsteps outside her room, footsteps that matched Lincoln's distinctive gait. Other guests and residents have reported similar experiences. Glimpses of a tall, gaunt figure in the yellow oval room. The sound of Lincoln's booming laughter echoing down empty hallways. Some even claim to have felt his presence in the Lincoln bedroom, as if the slain president continues to keep watch over the nation he loved. But Lincoln isn't the only president who is said to roam the White House halls. Andrew Jackson, the 7th president, is said to haunt his former bedroom, now known as the Rose Room. Jackson, a fiery and controversial figure in life, seems to have carried his temper into the afterlife. Guests and staff have reported a range of unsettling experiences in the Rose Room. Sudden drops in temperature, the overwhelming scent of Jackson's favorite pipe tobacco, and most chillingly, the sound of Jackson's booming laughter, a sound that, according to some, quickly turns into a guttural roar. Some believe that Jackson's anger stems from his tumultuous presidency, a time marked by bitter political battles and personal attacks. Others speculate that he is still fighting the demons of his past, seeking solace that he cannot find. Whatever the reason, there is no doubt that Jackson's spirit continues to make its presence known. A stark reminder that even in death, some wounds never truly heal. Not all White House ghosts are figures of power and fury. Dolly Madison, wife of James Madison, the 4th president, is said to haunt the White House gardens. Her presence is said to be more melancholic than menacing. Dolly, known for her grace and hospitality, was heartbroken when she was forced to flee the White House during the War of 1812. She watched in despair as British troops set fire to the building, destroying many of her prized possessions. It is said that Dolly's spirit can still be seen tending to the White House rose garden, her favorite spot in life. Visitors have reported seeing a woman in period clothing gliding through the roses, her face etched with a look of profound sadness. Some claim to have smelled the scent of magnolias, Dolly's favorite flower, lingering in the air long after she has vanished. Dolly's presence serves as a poignant reminder that even in a place of such grandeur and power, there is always room for heartbreak and loss. The White House is not the only place in Washington, D.C. where history and hauntings collide. The entire city seems to be steeped in a supernatural residue. Ghosts of soldiers, politicians, and everyday citizens linger in the shadows, their stories interwoven with the fabric of the city itself. from the hallowed halls of the Capitol building to the somber depths of the Library of Congress, from the bustling streets of Georgetown to the serene beauty of Rock Creek Park. There is nowhere in the city that is truly free from the ghosts of the past. They are a constant reminder that the decisions we make, the actions we take, and the lives we live echo long after we are gone. So, as you wander the streets of Washington, D.C., keep your eyes open and your ears perked. You never know when you might catch a glimpse of something or someone from beyond the veil. The Capitol building, a symbol of American democracy, stands tall on Capitol Hill, its iconic dome visible for miles around. But beneath its grandeur lies a history marked by both triumph and tragedy, including a ghostly secret that has haunted its halls for centuries. During the Civil War, the Capitol building was used as a hospital for wounded soldiers, the air thick with the stench of disinfectant and the moans of the dying. It is said that the spirits of some of these soldiers never left, bound to the place where they drew their last breath. Night watchmen and Capitol police officers have reported seeing shadowy figures in Union Army uniforms patrolling the corridors, their footsteps echoing in the stillness. Others have heard the faint sounds of battlefield commands, whispered as if from a distant time. One of the most frequently cited phantom sentinels is said to be a young drummer boy, killed during the war. He is often seen near the old Senate chamber, his drumbeat a mournful tattoo that sends chills down the spines of those who hear it. Section 8. The Screams of Lafayette Square, Dolly Madison's second haunting. Just across the street from the White House lies Lafayette Square, a picturesque park that has borne witness to centuries of history, from joyous celebrations to passionate protests. But beneath its lively facade lies a darker tale, a tale that speaks of a tragic love and a restless spirit seeking peace. Dolly Madison makes another appearance in our ghostly tour, this time in Lafayette Square. Before the White House became her home, Dolly and James lived in a house facing the park. It was there that tragedy struck. Dolly's eldest son, Payne Todd, died of yellow fever at the age of 25. Grief-stricken, Dolly was inconsolable, her sorrow echoing through the halls of their Lafayette Square home. It is said that her anguish was so great that it left an imprint on the very air. To this day, visitors to Lafayette Square have reported hearing the blood-curdling screams of a woman grieving for her lost child. The sound is said to be most pronounced at night, when the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest. Section 9. Shadows of the Past, the Tragedy of the National Theater. Just a few blocks from the White House stands the National Theater, a grand old building that has hosted some of the greatest names in show business. But beneath its glittering facade lies a chilling secret. In 1881, just 6 years after its grand opening, the National Theater was the site of a horrific accident. During a performance, actor Harry Hawk fell through a trap door. He landed on a support beam that pierced his lung, leading to a slow death. Stagehands reported seeing Hawk's shadowy figure lurking in the wings. Some even claimed to have felt his presence on stage. Section 10. A city haunted by history. From the grand halls of the White House to the quiet corners of forgotten cemeteries, Washington, D.C. is a city where the past refuses to stay buried. The weight of history hangs heavy here, a palpable presence that can be felt in the cool night air, in the rustle of leaves in ancient trees, in the echoing footsteps that seem to follow you down empty streets. Perhaps it is the city's unique position as the seat of American power, the place where so many pivotal moments in history have unfolded, that makes it such a magnet for restless spirits. Or perhaps it is simply that death, like life, is an inescapable part of the human experience. And in a city as old and as storied as Washington, D.C., there are bound to be a few ghosts lingering in the shadows. Section 11. Conclusion, where history meets the supernatural. As you leave the nation's capital, remember this. The stories we have explored are just a glimpse into the rich tapestry of hauntings that cloak this city. They are a reminder that history is not just something we read about in books. It is a living, breathing entity that continues to shape our world in ways both seen and unseen. So the next time you find yourself in Washington, D.C., take a moment to listen to the whispers of the past. Keep your eyes peeled for shadows moving in the periphery. And remember, You are walking in the footsteps of presidents, soldiers, slaves, and citizens, some of whom may never have truly left.